Hey guys, Ivan from Reactive Network here, and today let's discuss the 35k grant program that we announced in the beginning of the hackathon, and today we provide the details that we promised. So first of all, thank you for being with us here today. As always, I'm happy to see that people are interested in our content, in our events, and without any further ado, let me show you the slides and share all the information. So today we'll be discussing the 35k, which is part of our hackathon prize. So the 15k will be distributed immediately after the hackathon ends, and 35k will be distributed in the form of grants. And during with this particular live stream, we'll be covering the following. So first of all, what is this Reactive Grant Program? Then how the projects will be selected for our grants program. Then what's the process after that? What happens after the project gets a grant? And after that, we'll also discuss the new bi-weekly challenge, because the deadline for the previous bi-weekly challenge was just 2 minutes ago, and now we have a new one, and you have 2 more weeks to submit your applications for this one. So let's start with our Reactive Grant Program. So what is it? It's a grant program for the best hackathon projects. They will be selected through a process that I will share a bit later. The size of those grants will vary from 3,000 to 10,000 USDT, with like the median be, I believe, 5k will be the most standard size. And the goal of this grant program is to have more applications on Reactive Network. So let me also cover some differences between the immediate prizes and the grants. So the first difference is the goal. So to get the prize, you just need to build the better code. You just need to build the code for the reactive application. Obviously, this code should be a valid submission to one of the tracks, and then you compete against other submissions for this very track. And then if you win, you get an immediate prize. All the sizes of the prizes are listed on our Door Hacks page. Then with the grant, it's a bit different. So also you will need to have a valid submission. But the goal for grant, the end goal is not just to build the code, but to build an application that will be actually used. So you will need also to make sure it works well, to deploy it on the Reactive Network and the other networks that it will work with, such as Ethereum or Polygon. Also, there will be a feedback loop. So we will be in close contact with you, me in particular. We will discuss what else will be needed during this grant, like we will also provide the support. However, we expect you to build most of the stuff yourself. And yeah, we will give the feedback on what should be done differently. Also, this feedback will be in the form of milestones. So before we start working with you in terms of that grant, we will talk to you and agree with you on particular milestones for your project. So we'll discuss what should be built for what moment in time and for what money. Let's say, for instance, you win a 5k grant, then you get the first 2k after you build the reactive smart contract side within 2 weeks, for instance. Then you get then after you build those reactive contracts, you get the first 2k. Then you build the front end side in the next 2 weeks, you get the second 2k, and then you test everything, make sure it works, and present it to us, and you get the last 1k, something like that. But yeah, it will be different in each particular case. We'll discuss it with you, and it will be customized. Also, the sizes of the grants will be different, because obviously some applications are more complex, some are less complex. So yeah, that's all will be customizable and discussable. And also, as you can see, we have 15K for immediate prizes and then 35K for grants. And also with prizes, you will need to compete against other people. So until the very end of the hackathon, you won't know whether the code that you're building will get any money, because you might build even something good, but let's say some other 3 participants build something even better. In that case, they would be the winners, and you won't. But with grants program, if we agree to build something with you, then we're building it with you. And then if you reach the milestones, you get the money. You're not competing against anyone after that. You're only competing within a hackathon. And if you showcase your skills, then we will most probably reach out to you in terms of grants program as well. Now, how the projects will be selected for the grants program. So first of all, you will need to build something for the hackathon and have a submission on our hackathon, a valid one, but not necessarily a winner. So even if you, let's say, take the 4th place, we still might look at you as a potential grant receiver, so that, it makes sense to work on your code anyway. So, and the criteria for us to choose a good candidate for a grant will be whether this particular application or project is good for further development and user interest. Because obviously what we're looking for is some user interest, some adoption, some good use cases. So if you might even build something very cool and win the prize, but if it's not, it cannot be developed further, and if it cannot be used by a user, then it probably won't be a good grant candidate. But we try to design prizes in a way so that like any prize winner will be a good candidate for a user interest. So yeah, don't really worry about that. And Prakar, thank you for the question. Let me show it on the screen. Will bi-weekly challenge count to be eligible? Yes. Like all the track submissions will be count to be eligible for bi-weekly challenges as well. Because like for bi-weekly challenges, we also chose the use cases that might be used by a user, used, scaled, and so on. Okay, so the next step in the selection process is we reach out to you to actually find out whether you're interested in this grant program, because obviously you might have wanted to just build something for the hackathon and then move on with your life or your job or something else, and you might not be interested in building anything after that. So we reach out to you and find out whether you are interested in that. And if you are, we ask you like some additional questions, like what milestones will you offer, what improvements will you offer. Not a huge application, just a few additional questions, because obviously at this point you will have proved yourself to us with your code and your use case and other stuff. So just a bit more information for us to make a more precise decision, right? Then the next step will be the technical assessment of your code and your idea done by me and our developer team, then a business assessment done by our ecosystem team, and then a final decision made based on all the information gathered by our CEO and founders. Because we are distributing a bunch of money, and that's a responsible financial decision. So that's why the process is a bit more nuanced than for the prizes, right? But we'll try to make it as transparent and as just as possible. So in case you have some good code and a good use case, I believe it will be not that hard. I mean, it will be hard, but it will be justifiably hard. Okay. So, and what happens next? A very short description here, because basically what happens next is a usual development process. Because at this point we already have your use case, a bit of your code, and some agreement, and then we talk to you and we decide on the milestones. You might offer it from your side. We might suggest something on top of that. So yeah, we need to agree on the milestones, what part of your project will be built by when, and what part of the grant will you get for that. And I believe the size of the grant will also be playing part in those milestones, right? And then when we decide on those milestones, you start the development. And when a milestone is implemented, and by implemented, I mean you provide the code and you deploy it on Reactive Network and our other networks, and our team takes a look at it and we agree on the fact that it's implemented, then we transfer you the funds for this milestone and we move on to the next milestone. So yeah, I believe that's all the information I wanted to share about the grants program. The next slide will be about our biweekly challenge. So if you have any questions about the grant program, I believe it's a good time to ask them. So I'll pause here for a minute, waiting for any questions. And after that, I'll move on to the third biweekly challenge. Okay, looks like we don't have any additional questions so far. So let me go to the next slide. Anyway, if you have questions, ask them anytime. And the next slide is super, super small. So the third biweekly challenge is to build an approval magic application. And at this point, I will share my screen, my window, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I believe you can see here the window with our repository, our demos repository. So to find it, you can go back to our general GitHub, and this is the Reactive Smart Contract Demos repository. And you can go here to SRC folder, and here in demos, you will see the first folder, Approval Magic. As a matter of fact, you could have already seen it, and you even could have already used it in your hackathon applications, because this is some interesting code right here. Anyway, what it does, it automates the process of like, you might remember from our bounty program that we had this bounty of one-step automated one-step swap. So a user approves their funds to our callback smart contract, and then the swap happens automatically, so that the user only needs to sign one transaction in their wallet, right? So the approval magic demo generalizes this use case. So it allows you to put any additional automations on top of this approval that you monitor using a reactive smart contract. And also it generalizes it in a sense that the user won't even have to deal with reactive smart contracts. They can just deal with usual smart contracts. So I won't dive into a lot of details here because it's pretty well documented right here. So you can take a look, you can run it. And the idea of our third biweekly challenge is for you to find the best application for this service. Some of the ideas might be automating swaps or automating loans or automating any other DeFi activity or some NFT transfers. So whatever comes to your mind, the most interesting and the most well implemented application will be the winner, right? So obviously you're implied to, you expected to use this code here. Yep, and that's it more or less. It's pretty, as always, the description is pretty vague, and for you to be creative. And it's not currently on the door hacks, but I will add it to door hacks right after this live stream, and yep, you will see it there as well. And also, I believe I should mention our previous second bi-weekly challenge, because it has been finalized just a few minutes ago. The deadline was a few minutes ago, and we obviously don't have a winner yet, because we didn't have the time to select the winner, since the deadline was just 20 minutes ago. So yeah, we'll be taking a look at the applications that were submitted before the deadline, and we'll let you know who is the winner the day after tomorrow, and the winner will get 700 USDT prize. And I believe that's it for today. As always, I will stay here for a few more minutes and finish the stream, not to spend any additional time of yours. So yeah, waiting for some questions for a few moments and saying goodbye. Yeah, also Prakhar Manyavir, very good to. It's very pleasant to see you today on the stream. It's very pleasant to know that we already have a good community and people who are constantly interested in our activities. So yeah, hi. Okay, so we don't have any more questions today. So thank you for the time, guys. I hope this information about the Reactive grant program inspired you, because yeah, as I have said, winning the first prize is not the only option to get money, and if you have some big idea that you cannot implement during the hackathon, it still might be implemented later during the grant program. Obviously, the selection process will be pretty strict, but also the money will be pretty good. So yeah, just make sure to build some good hackathon applications to win prizes and to be eligible for this 35k grant program. And yeah, also don't forget about the third biweekly challenge, because this also, like the application you build there, might also be eligible for the grant. And thank you very much, and have a great day. Take care.